Hello everybody, this is Kylo slash IMAX Nation Plays here. Tonight I'm playing Test Drive 5. This is a game that came out in 1998 for the PS1 and the PC, and it was one of my favorites as a kid. So, I'm doing quick race mode where you can't even see the car that you're picking, you just know which car you're picking. And many cars have different paint jobs, so I don't know which paint job I'm gonna get. So we're gonna race in Edinburgh, Scotland for this first race. Let me see. I'm actually going to close my eyes and do this. Makes it much more fun and interesting for me. Test Drive 5 was one of my first PlayStation games, actually. I got my PlayStation in Christmas of... Oh, so I got the Caterham 21. It's kind of a so-so car. We're playing on normal difficulty with Super Arcade mode activated. I'm unabashedly a cheater when it comes to this game. I've never fully beaten it, as you can see there. I always activate the cheat codes to get all the cars, the tracks, everything. With this game, you kind of have to because it's sadistic. Whoa! So, I got this game back in 1998, as I said earlier. It was a Christmas gift along with my first ever PlayStation, and I played the heck out of this as a kid. I know Gran Turismo and Need for Speed 3, which came out around the same time, were technically much better games than this, but I enjoyed the heck out of this. And I still do. It's really good, albeit standard arcade racer. You have a nice variety of cars, a nice variety of tracks, you know, from all around the world, and the soundtrack kicks ass. It's all 90s sort of techno and industrial metal sort of stuff. What we're hearing right now is Death Beat by Junkie XL, which was actually on the Gran Turismo soundtrack back in the day. Junkie XL now does a lot of scores for major movies like like Batman vs. Superman, Mad Max Fury Road, Amazing Spider-Man 2, and several others. I hate to sound like a hipster, but I knew Junkie XL long before those movies came out because of this game. And I think Death Beat was featured in a lot of movies back then, too. So the Caterham 21 is an okay car at best. The game says that it only goes like 140 miles per hour, but it actually goes 180. And that's not because of Super Arcade mode, that's how fast it actually goes. Some of the car's top speeds are misrepresented in this game when you're on the car select screen. Like, for example, the Pitbull Special, which is a car the developers made up, the game says it goes 260 miles per hour, but it actually goes 229 miles per hour. I don't know why they'd lie about that. I guess to get you to pick the car, but 229 miles per hour is still pretty kick-ass, especially in 1998 when, back in those days, the fastest car ever was the McLaren F1, which went like 248 miles per hour, I want to say. And then that record was topped by the Bugatti Veyron sometime around like 2004 or 2005 maybe. I don't know if the Veyron still holds the record. If you've played this game for a while, you'll also notice that I have the cops turned off. The reason for that is the cops in this game are ludicrously unfair. They only go after you and not any of the other racers. Test Drive 6 corrected this error, though, because it's kind of bullshit if you think about it. Like, the cop only goes after you, and all the cop has to do is race ahead of you, and that's it. You're pulled over. Whereas in Test Drive 6, you have to be, like, in a pickle, and the cop has to be right there, and the cop can pull you over for a couple of seconds. So we're almost at the end of this track, surprisingly. Just don't let I just can't let the wobbly handling and physics get the better of me here. Here we go. He came in first. So, one thing you need to know about the modes in this game, because I've been playing it for years and years and years, and I've kind of fixated on the little ins and outs of this game. You'll notice that cars like the Dodge Charger and the Aston Martin V8 Vantage, their top speeds like the AI opponents have gone like 195 miles per hour. The Dodge Charger goes 178 miles per hour in this game, and the V8 Vantage goes 186 miles per hour. They don't go 195 miles per hour. So the AI totally cheats. You know, for years I always thought that I just wasn't good at this game, but no, the AI totally cheats. So we did Edinburgh. We're going to do this again where I don't look at the car or the paint job or anything. I don't think I'm going to randomly select the car this time. So we're going to race in Sydney, Australia. I think I'm going to go with... I don't want to pick one of the fastest cars because I think that would be a little too easy. I kind of want to challenge myself. Let's see. You pick the hot dog. The hot dog has ridiculously good acceleration, but its top speed is very, very low, so you get an early lead, but then the other cars catch up to you. So you gotta use it wisely. Like, you gotta use the turns and the traffic to your advantage. The hot dog is a curious vehicle. It's some kind of Jeep, and it just says hot dog. When I first heard about this car, because, like, when I was little and I didn't know what the cheat codes were. See, look at that. I'm at my top speed, and they've gone past me like lightning. So you just got to use them crashing and messing up to your advantage. I also have the 3D collisions turned off, because that's another difficulty thing that I just can't stand in this game. The game literally penalizes you for everything. And I just think, not tonight. That sound gets a little grating after a while. Actually, my motion smoothing is on, which I am not a fan of. I gotta turn that off, but it's too late. I already got the recorder going and such. Let me see. So I'm in 5th place. This is bad. And this game looks really weird with the soap opera effect. Yep, and the Charger passed me. I'm probably gonna lose. Oh, there's the Cobra. There's the Charger. So in normal mode, your AI, you know, your opponents are the Charger. Whoa, he just clipped right through me. Super Arcade mode makes this game do some pretty wonky stuff. Like, under no circumstances should that ever happen. Anyways, normal mode for the newcomer. You know, just in case a 1998 racing game that got fair reviews at best back in the day has any newcomers. The opponents in normal mode, which is what I'm playing. The Dodge Charger, Shelby Cobra, 98 Aston Martin V8 Vantage, 1969 Chevrolet Corvette ZL1, 1998 Chevrolet Corvette, which is right there. They all stay the same color, too. In the PC version, I think they changed the colors up of the cars of the opponents, so it's not the same exact cars you're racing each time out. If we can get in the top 3, that's fine by me. I'm not aiming for first place all the way through. You know, like I said, this is a curious car. It's one that's made up by the developers, and it's not necessarily a recreation of a licensed vehicle, although it probably resembles a real-life Jeep that they didn't get the rights to. Alright, watch the Charger, because he's going to try to pass me. And he did. My strategy didn't quite work. See, I'm clipping right through that car. Super Arcade mode makes you do... Super Arcade mode really messes this game up. Alright, here we go. So now we actually get to see the cars. I can choose the paint job. Let's see. Let's go with the Camaro. Black. I'm determined to undo my mistake there. But yeah, this is a really cool soundtrack. This is music that I don't normally seek out, but because I played the heck out of this game back in 98, 99, 2000, etc., this soundtrack is just ingrained in my brain. That's Genius by Pitch Shifter, but it's a looping instrumental version. The PC version of Test Drive 5 plays the full songs. The PS1 version only plays like a loop of the song, just repeatedly for 3 to 4 minutes, depending on how long you spend on this racetrack. There are 2 routes in Sydney. We're going to go the alternate route. Most of your competition goes the other way, which is the easy way. It's just one long... It's just long and straight, whereas this is very curvy and swivelly. So I'm in 3rd place. One thing the PS1 version doesn't have... See, in the PC version, when you're picking the track to race on, you get to see like an overhead map of what it looks like and where all the turns are and everything. You don't get that in this version. My mind was blown when I looked at playthroughs of the PC version. You know, when YouTube first came out in the mid-aughts, that's when I started looking up playthroughs of all these old games. Whoa, alright. That can happen. Test Drive 5 can be very, very unfair, but if you've played it for a long, long time, you kind of know its tricks and you know its bullshit physics. Even though I'm aware of all of this stuff, I'm still terrible at this game, even to this day, in 2020. Alright, and we're in 4th place. Not good. Alright. Usually, if you're playing as the Camaro, the 1969 Camaro that is, you're in good hands. Colbert just passed me. And the Charger. Whoa! So, one thing about this game, and I'm not alone, when cars, like, when opponents bump into you, you go flying. Like, you're swerving all over the place. You lose control, and your car has the physics of a soap bar. It's terrible. And as a kid, that grated on me. Nowadays, I'm kind of amused by it because I'm not losing sleep over losing races in this game, but when you're 6 years old in 1998 and this game keeps cheating and this game keeps beating you, you get really angry and you get really pissed off and you're just determined to not let this game beat you. And, you know, one of my fondest memories of playing this game was when I was like 6 years old, and my sister and I were playing it, and we both groused together. Oh, look at that, 1st place. We both groused, hey, the opponents are going faster than us. At the time, we didn't have the vocabulary that we have now, but I just distinctly remember me and my sister going, they're making them speed, when referring to the opponents having better acceleration than you do. No, we're not going to do quick. Well, actually, I want to do quick race because you don't have to wait for things to load, like when you're selecting the cars. You just do that. Just I don't want to do Moscow, even though Moscow is the first track. I have a lot of trouble with that one for some reason. Maybe it's because of the rain, but the roads get very slick like halfway through. We'll do Blue Ridge. This will probably be my last race before I stop the recording. We're gonna pick... It's Microwaved by Pitch Shifter, another kick-ass song on this kick-ass soundtrack. I like a challenge. I'm gonna pick the Dodge Charger Daytona. Not the best acceleration in the house, but once you get up to speed, it's pretty good. For some reason, the Dodge Charger and the Dodge Charger Daytona acceleration in this game is kind of piss poor. It's like, these are powerful muscle cars we're talking about here. I should be ahead of all these racers. Alright, here we go. Yeah, give it time when you get up to top speed. You're doing pretty good. Whoa! And then that happens. And then that happens. And then that happens. I've actually been to... Well, I might have been. I know I was very close to it. Blue Ridge Parkway in North Carolina. It was gorgeous. As a kid, I always loved these levels. And I always wanted to go to these places one day. And I kind of got my wish on a road trip. We took a long scenic route back from Florida a couple of years ago. Whoa. Okay. Laws of physics don't matter no more. So yeah, if I remember correctly, it was Blue Ridge Parkway. It was really high up too, so while we were on the highway, we were basically on a mountain. There we go. Cobras in sight. Those polygonal hay bales. Here's the 1969 Corvette. See, I grew up in a family of car junkies, so this game was right up my alley. I often don't talk about it, but I'm actually a pretty, like, I'm no genius, but I love cars. Like, cars are so cool. I mean, most Americans love cars, but, you know, I grew up in a gearhead family. My stepdad is into cars, my dad is into cars, my mother likes cars a lot, so I kind of got, to quote somebody I wouldn't really quote these days, I kind of got motor oil running through my veins. Alright, so, stage 2. Yeah, this track feels long. It's always felt long to me. As a kid and as an adult, it has always felt long to me. Hey, watch out there, soccer mom. So, yeah, like I explained earlier, I turned the cops off in this game because the cop mechanics are terrible in this game. And like I said, they only go after you, not the other racers, and I don't like that at all. It was pretty much the same thing with Test Drive 4 as well, whereas Test Drive 6 made it so that it was more, it was more fair, and that the other racers weren't exempt. I think in terms of gameplay, Test Drive 6 is an all-around better game. Even though Test Drive 6 is regarded as terrible, like when it came out, the reviews were really negative, and the reviews for Test Drive 5 were a little more positive. Most of the reviews at the time were like, it's alright, but it's nowhere near as good as Gran Turismo and Need for Speed 3. And, I guess that's a fair assessment because, it isn't. Gran Turismo was like a new gold standard in racing games when it came out, and so was Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit. But the Test Drive games function perfectly as sort of generic arcade racers, but it was the cars that kept you coming back, and the soundtrack. And I didn't have Need for Speed 3 as a kid. And I didn't get Gran Turismo till a couple of years later. I think I got Gran Turismo in 2000. That was the year after Gran Turismo 2 came out. And I played Gran Turismo a lot as well. Like, I played that game religiously. Like, one summer, I was just dedicated to getting very far in Gran Turismo and making enough money to buy the Dodge Viper GDS, because back then, Dodge Viper GDS was my favorite car ever, and it's still one of my favorite cars. So, yeah, this is not fun. I literally messed up in that final section, and that cost me the race. I was doing so well, too. I was in first place. But that's what this game does to you. Like, you think you're doing great, and then that happens. For good measure, I'm gonna take it slow. Yeah. We're gonna have to do this again. So yeah, we're gonna stop the recording here. Thanks for watching. This is Kylo, signing off.